Hi everyone, this is Alexa from Nurses Notes 101 and welcome to my new apartment. I finally made it to the city. So I am in New York City right now. I just had my first day of CRNA orientation and I thought I would pop on. So what I want to talk about today is the importance of change and how if we didn't change, we would always stay in the same spot and how it's super important to get out of your comfort zone. So for me, there has been a lot of change recently. So for starters, I was living in my family's house and I moved out of that house just for the year to be in the city, to be closer to school, to focus on studying. So, how this can relate to you, we have to think about our priorities. And while my relationship is my priority, I also have another priority now, which is school. So, it's important to see if you can do both and see if your partner, your family, your support system, your friends are going to be there for you and are okay with you kind of uprooting to focus on something else. If I was to be at home still, I do not think I'd be able to focus as well. We have a pretty busy house. We have two dogs. It's a lot. And we're also not the only family members who live there. So it's me, my boyfriend, and then his sister is there with her husband. So it's just a lot going on, a lot of moving parts. Love them dearly, but I'm focusing on school right now. So, with that, change is inevitable, and those people who love you will be by your side. And I know that I always have them by my side, and it's a great feeling. So, you got to find people who are like that in your corner, and that's why I come on here because I can be that person for you as well. I can be someone who you can come to for support and someone who you could ask for advice. I'm open to it. Like I've said previously, I've been a nurse since 2016, so 7+ years. I'm 31 and I am always open for new friends. I am very grounded and I feel like I have a level head and I'm able to help you through tough situations. So that's why I'm here. I want you to listen to me and hopefully you'll get some good advice from that. So, along with change, it's the importance of continued growth. So, not just continued growth personally, but professionally. So, as a nurse, there's so many different steps you can take. I think it's super important to see what option's best for you. Don't just stop at being a staff nurse if you think you want to go forward. If you don't see yourself moving forward and you have other restraints, whether it be financial, familial, something that's kind of holding you back, then by all means, there's no negative to maintaining and being a staff nurse. I actually love that. I feel like it's somewhat of a dying breed. I think being a staff nurse is a beautiful thing, and it's a connection I'm actually really going to miss. So I loved being a staff nurse, and I was not one of those people who on the last day of my job or the last week was happy. Like I was actually pretty sad because I like that connection with people, like that intimate feeling. So I know I am going to miss it, but I'm still going to try to maintain somewhat of a similar connection, but more of a professional role as an SRNA, soon to be CRNA, because obviously we still interact with people, but I think where I will excel is to try and de-stress and de-escalate people's anxiety, and I can bring humor into that. So I've heard a quote. Some people say for every if you're listening to a speech, right? For every 5 minutes of content and knowledgeable information, you want to give a joke. You want to break up the mundane and all this information and sensory overload with something funny. And I feel like we all gravitate towards that. If you think about the speeches and the presentations that we like the most, it's always the people with a sense of humor, someone who can entertain us. And we're human, and I feel like we are as much complex as we are simple, and humor goes a long way. So I would love to be that for someone else, and I want to be the light and kind of a sense of calm for someone on their worst days. A lot of times when they're having surgery, it's their worst day, and I want to make it better for them. So, in addition, a lot of people I've seen or have said to me, actually, because I'm now in school for nurse anesthesia, they've said, "Oh, I've thought about that, but it just seemed too hard for me, or I had this, this, and this." Like they were making a lot of excuses, and they were like, "I would love to do that, but I'm older. I would love to do that, but I have kids. I could have done that. I wanted to do that." So I feel like a lot of individuals I've spoken with have all these dreams and aspirations. If it's something that you really want to do, you can get it done. You just have to find how in your niche and in your lifestyle and personal life how that will fit. So I'm making it fit. It's a tight squeeze, but I am making it fit. Like I said, one of my questions with this and doing this program was childbirth. So I'm 31. I know I'm going to want to have kids in the next 3 or so years. So it's kind of difficult. And it was a question for me when I was doing this, when I was interviewing and when I was getting ready to apply. I'm like, is this something that I really want? Because it's going to delay me having kids. And in the end, because I will still be under 35 and under 40, I think it's still safe for me to say that I can do both. I can have kids and I can make it work. You have to see if that'll work for you. I think that's an extra layer of graduate schooling that women have to take into account, unfortunately, versus men. As as sometimes the primary provider, or at least in a like conventional family, like that's the male is the primary provider. So they don't really have to juggle these issues like women do because we're the ones giving birth. So it's something that you have to think about. And if you really want something, you have to get out of your comfort zone and you have to be willing to be flexible, and so do the people around you, and you have to kind of make a clear plan and path of what's the best option for you. It's been interesting. So, as an adult learner, I feel a little out of the loop sometimes. I have had too many years of college. I have two bachelor's and one master's already. So I don't want to be too lax starting out, but I am somewhat confident in my ability to schedule and to organize and to get myself ready for classes. But I want to kind of shake myself up a little bit and not act like this is a low key situation. I know this is super important and I want to start on the right foot. But being an adult learner, like I said, comes with its own challenges. Whether being an adult learner is new for you or not, it's not new for me, but for a few of my colleagues who I know it's new for them, besides their bachelor's, it can be super anxiety provoking. You don't really know what to expect. A lot of these colleges that people are applying to are super big, and there's a lot of kind of question marks. What I would say is the best situation is if there is finances, call the departments, and then if there's something you think you can deal with on your own, or that it should wait until you're in person, then wait. There's no need stressing about things that are out of your control. And the thing that always helps me is I remind myself that if I'm stressed about this, I'm sure I'm not the only one. A lot of people in your program will have the same stressors, stressors, and concerns. So it's important to remember that you're not alone. We're all human. We're not robotic. And being an adult learner is a challenge in itself, and you just kind of have to be confident, take it step by step, and lists and calendars are our best friends. Flexibility, lists, calendars, adult learning, the key to growth, all of this stuff is so important, whether you're looking to prolong your degree or in your studies currently. Know that we are human, and just like everyone else can do anything they want and they can obtain their goals, as long as you have a clear path, you can obtain whatever you want to obtain. Sometimes people act like getting to a certain point professionally or personally is only for a certain type of people, only for someone who looks a certain way, this and that. If you have the criteria and if you perform the steps that that should be taken to get you to a certain spot, then you will get there. You have to make sure that your list of steps to get to your end goal is correct, and then there is no reason why you cannot be where you want to be in life. All right, I wish you guys the best. This is a big week for me, so please, if you have questions about SRNA school, application process, if you have questions about Nurse's Notes, my channel, if you want to hear more about me personally, I'm open to telling more about myself. And if you want me to get back to CCRN / like fundamentals content, I will by all means do that too. I know you guys like those videos, so I will definitely be putting more content material out. I just wanted to try something new and do more about me vlogs. So, all right, see you soon.